Welcome everyone to yet another episode of the Mr. Iyer Show, where we talk about tech, travel, and tuxedo. It's been a while since I got my last episode, so this was the right time because I can see a lot of traction and a lot of action going on, where people are talking about SDRs, people are talking about sales practices, demos, how a sales need to be done. Um, I had written an article on LinkedIn, couple of years back on design thinking in product sales. So I thought, let me make it an audio one, get some more interesting tidbits so that which could be used for by sales guys. So here we go. This is the episode where we talk about design thinking in product sales. Uh, so Pablo Picasso, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and then Steve Jobs. All these names resonate when it comes to art, abstract, or anything to do with design. But why Steve Jobs? You might be having this question. We'll answer that soon. What these great artists did, which no other man could think, was that they visualized for you. And cause sometimes we are not able to visualize what we want, but once we see their work instantly, a thing comes to our mind. Yes, bingo. This is exactly what I wanted. Many times we are in doubt about what we want, and sometimes we don't even know whether we require those features. The product has a, but when we start using it, we realize that damn, this is exactly what we want. How many times this has happened to all of you? I'm sure you must be thinking, yes, this is something which I can correlate. Design thinking is not something new, but ancient thought process wherein different individuals have presented to us different aspects of life in their way, which we never thought would be required. The industrial revolution or the technology revolution. Unless someone didn't design this in his head and made it possible, you and I wouldn't be sitting reading my article, which was accessible over a mobile, or even listening to my podcast over a mobile across the world. In design thinking are usually someone with a different mindset, aggressive, eccentric, and someone who is usually all about himself. In reality, they are thinking about doing something different. Steve Jobs, whatever we have read, watched, and learned, that he wanted to get work done. And if had design in mind, he would have wanted it to get it done. Some still argue that Apple products are, even though revolutionary, was inspired by some of the other products. It's okay to be inspired, as we always look at inspiration around us, and we try to either make a similar product or even a better product. What Steve and Apple did is get inspired, but used design thinking to actually make it much better in many different ways. Whether it is the ecosystem, the amazing operating system, or the platform, or the different devices which they have been bringing out here on here. Classy Apple design. Steve was an artist, but what you have not understood is Steve was the best product sales guy in this world because he could sell you something with design in mind. He sold you a product that you wanted, not a product he made and pushed it to you. He was ahead of his time, so he would go one step and sell you a product that you wanted. Imagine iPod, which could store 1,000 songs with its flawless touch-enabled design, or the powerful ecosystem, which could flawlessly move from one Apple product to the other. With this, you don't have to look beyond any other product. That means indirectly he is actually selling you five products with one single design in mind, the ecosystem. So what does design thinking product salesman do is the question. And how can you be a great design thinking product salesperson? So before we go to that, we shall understand what do you need in good design thinking artist. Define. Are you a good understanding user needs and their pain areas? Emotions. Can you empathize with your users? Innovation. Are you ready to think of something impossible, challenge world assumptions, and can you really innovate? 4. Beta. The only idea is not important, but creating a beta or a blueprint is important. If you have these thoughts in mind, you achieve the first goal, to understand that you have a design thinking attitude. As they say, if you're thinking from all angles, including and out of the box, then you are on the right track. Stories matter in design thinking. So let's understand, what does a product sales guy needs to do. Most of the time when we are in sales, do we look at how to sell our product? How to convince the customer your product is the best? How the world will end if you don't buy our product? We push our product, not actually sell our product. It's very important to first understand the design of your product. Because you don't understand the design thinking behind your product, you will not be able to sell it. So, it's very important, you need to understand these aspects of your product. First, is my product going to be the right fit for the customer? Second, is my product what the customer is looking for? Third, does it cover all the pain areas of my customer? Fourth, is my product user friendly? 5, does my product has a great UI design? 6, does my product design cover all the bases for the customer? To be a great product salesman, you need to start thinking like an artist. What do you think an artist is? He's a great visualizer. 1. He's a great storyteller. 3. He used theatrics. 4. He fills it with characters. 5. He gives characters those different colors. And 6. He lets us design or the story to get it talking. So typically understand, if you're on a sales call, you need to visualize what your customer wants and understand what your customer requires. Second, create a story around your product. It could be a story which was a product which you sold to a customer similar to the one which you're pitching. Third, use theatrics. You could use all kind of theatrics. You could use the emotions, you could create sadness, you can create pain. When the customer's describing his pain areas, you could be theatric and say, oh, that's really something which our product can give you. It's emotion, it's excitement. That kind of theatrics you need. Fourth, fill it with characters. Relate the customer. For example, if you're pitching a customer a sales product or a CRM, you need to understand what you need to, characters need to be used. You need to talk about an account manager, you can need to talk about the sales leader, the strategist, everybody. Bring those characters in. Let your design do the talking, the last thing, and that you need to understand. Sales will always remain an art, always remember. And salespeople, the best artists in their professional field. So product sales are no different. Just try to find the design thinking artist in you, to think of your product is the best design creation for the end user. So this was a brief what a design thinking in sales is all about. And to be a great sales artist or a great salesperson, we always talk about the different aspects of selling. One of the most important aspects is you need to understand and be creative in your sales. It has to have your product design in mind. So always understand that. So that's about it for today. That's how we're going to end the episode. Let me know if you guys have any feedback on the episode, or you want any inputs on how design thinking could be done. Just drop me a message. I'll be more than happy to talk about it. Keep subscribing. I'll keep churning out these kind of informative videos which would help all the future sales guys who are trying to get themselves a career in sales. So once again, thank you all for listening to my podcast. And as I always say, we are available on Spotify, we are available on Apple Podcasts, and I'm also available on Google. So enjoy, subscribe, follow, and stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.